bring the museum back to life.
You know, people sit out on the front porch hoping people will come by.
Go forth and do good. It's insane. I have the most understanding wife in the world.
I treat everybody the same thing.
Oh, that's the other thing I love about Marietta. It's like a melting pot.
You are listening to Marietta Stories. Each week, veteran podcaster Bill Nowicki brings you the heartwarming, interesting, and fun stories from the people that make the community of Marietta, Georgia, a place to call home. Here's your host, Bill Nowicki.
I got Justin Waller. Here we are at Schoolhouse Brewing on Franklin Court, which is a brand new location. They used to be over by, what was the name of the place?
We were off of Whitlock, near the Chicken and the Egg.
Near the Chicken and Egg, but now they have a brand new place. They're making beer and they're serving it up tonight, and it's really cool here, Justin. Welcome to Marietta Stories, by the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So you guys didn't start out as brewers. You didn't start out brewing beer. You started out in education.
Yeah. We're a couple of science teachers. He taught mostly 8th grade physical science, and I was literally on the floor below him, 7th grade life science, kind of like biology. And so
how'd you become friends? What brought you together?
Well, I really don't know. I think it was probably music at first. Like, I think there was just, I got wind of somebody in the building that also listened to like punk rock and stuff, and we started hanging out outside of school and just kind of hit it off.
When did you start with brewing beer?
A few years into being friends with Thomas. So now I'm going to say, oh my gosh, it was early 2000s. We'll just go with that. My wife actually got me a kit for probably Father's Day, I think. And I was like, okay, this can't be that hard. And it was a little more complicated than I thought. But ultimately, it ended up just becoming like a really fun chemistry. And so I got Thomas on board, and I was like, hey, we should do this together. And
really? So he wasn't doing it before you did?
No. Now he took it to a whole nother level once I got him interested in it.
Yeah. I taught a guy how to do the hurdles in high school, and he beat me like 3 weeks later. But anyway, it sounds similar. But so you guys started the home brewing, and then how did it get to the point where you're like, let's do something, let's take it to the next level?
Well, he decided at one point to leave the classroom. He wanted to try out, his own business. He's from North Carolina, and there they have a lot of bottle shops where they sell individual bottled beer. And there just weren't that many of them around here, but the craft beer industry was really starting to rise. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to leave the classroom, I'm going to open up my own shop, and I'm going to sell the best craft beers that I can find. Sell them individually as bottles, as well as in growlers, or allow people to have, flights so they could sample them. And I said, that's cool. Do you think you could also sell homebrew supplies in this shop? Because I'm tired of driving down to this other place, and they don't always have what I want. And he said, yeah, I could probably swing that. So the whole homebrewing supply bit actually started there because we wanted stuff for ourselves.
Really? And what about the whole Schoolhouse? Who came up with the Schoolhouse brand and all that?
Oh, that was Thomas. He spent a lot of time. I mean, he had my opinion on things, but when he came up with the name, it was just a no-brainer.
Really? And so what about trying to get the Schoolhouse Brewing in Marietta? I seem to remember, it's been a few years. When did you get that first building going?
He was operating, I believe, for 6 years off of Whitlock.
Right, and but I remember there was some pushback in the city and stuff like that, or was there? It wasn't easy, was it?
Well, there was a little bit of pushback over time just on growler shops being able to do tastings or sell pints, but that all got worked out.
Yeah, and then the big thing that's happened recently, how many years ago was it that the law changed? Tell the folks about that law and how it kind of hamstrung you and now where you guys are at today.
So SB 85 now allows breweries to sell directly to the public, and that's really changed the game as far as tasting rooms. The whole concept of a tasting room, even the name itself, has really come about from a manufacturer who wants to allow someone to come in and just sample their product, whereas now you can sell it directly to them there. It's taken away the need to just go straight through a distributor. You might still want one, but it's allowed us here to focus on bringing people to us.
Right. Yeah, and it would seem like you could experiment a little bit. Now, what are some of your, what do you have available right now on your taps?
We've got a Blackberry Berliner. We've got a Hefeweizen, a Pale Ale, West Coast IPA, a Stout. Let's see, we've got a table beer, which is a 3.5% Saison. And I think there's also another IPA out there.
Wow. How do you develop those recipes where, they become popular with folks? What's the process you guys use?
That's all Thomas.
It is? Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to hit him up. So when did you decide, because you were a teacher, when did you decide to take the leap? And what about your family? Because you have kids and all those kind of things.
A couple years ago, my wife and I had a very long discussion about that. But
you didn't know how it was going to go, or how to.
No, yeah, I'm smart. I asked for permission. This was not a forced thing. She said, if you really want to do this, if you see the potential in this, then let's go for it. So she's been, encouraging, and she's had my back the whole time.
Well, that's really, really important. As we know in relationships, if you're going in separate directions, it's not going to work out. Where are you guys located now, and anything else you want to tell me about the room? Because we have walked around. It's really cool. It's got bus seats, and how did that all come about?
Well, we decided we wanted to continue with the schoolhouse theme since we're both previous teachers. Actually, know a guy who I was able to get some bus seats from and drove all day to get them, brought them back, cleaned them up. We tried to pull in as many of the things that most people associate with school, and we'll look at it, and nostalgic. But as far as what we've got here, we still operate a fully functional homebrew supply store. So we have grains, hops, yeasts, and equipment.
Classes?
We're not doing classes now. It might be something we do in the future. We'll see. We have a rentable conference room we refer to as the detention room. Excellent outdoor space.
Yeah, it's amazingly quiet. We drove up, and it's a industrial park kind of area, but the back side where you guys are at are very quiet. It's trees, and it's really nice.
Oh, when we saw this place, we were like, okay, this will work. We can make this work. We're kind of a hidden secret back here. I would say if I had to add any one more thing to this, it's that we are also focused on being open source. Thomas is posting our recipes so that the public can see them, but also so that homebrewers that are interested in a beer we've got on tap here can get those ingredients and go home and try to make the same beer. They could also try to make variants of it if they wanted to.
Yeah, you were telling me a story before we went on air about Thomas, how it used to be at the old place, and how he would help a bunch of people out, and then didn't really have a way to get his own recipes out there.
Oh yes, he's been one to never hold back. To him, keeping information is a horrible thing. He wants it to all be free, and he, for a number of people, has openly written recipes for them. I mean, that used to be his MO, was people would come in and he was the guy they'd go to for a recipe. Many of those recipes were made by customers and then even went on to win awards.
Yeah, and I guess you guys are educators deep down still.
Oh, yeah. That never leaves.
Right. Well, I know you got to get back to your folks out here, and I appreciate the time with you, Justin, and I want to talk to Thomas, but this is a great place, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. All right, I got Elizabeth Denny with me. Let's talk about Johnny Walker Realty.
We got Best of Cobb for residential, we got Best of Cobb for commercial, and we got Best Realtor in Cobb. We swept it.
Who's the best realtor? Oh, Johnny Walker.
Johnny actually came in second, believe it or not.
Who was first?
Angie Pfeiffer. Yeah. Well earned and well deserved. One of the really great things when you're working with a local realty company like Johnny Walker Realty is you do have the strength of the relationships and genuine knowledge of the area. So somebody who is, a good contractor in one area, believe it or not, might not work as well in another. And if you've got that history and you've got somebody who can pick up the phone and call somebody directly that they've known for 20 years, it really makes a difference when you're trying to get something done. It's a very competitive market right now, and relationships matter.
You can contact Johnny and Carrie. They're at 262 Church Street. You go to JohnnyWalkerRealty.com or call them up at
678-626-0403.
Yeah, Thomas Monti, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you also.
All right, yeah, here we are at Schoolhouse Brewing Brewery, and is that the full name now?
Schoolhouse Brewing, Marietta, Georgia, on Franklin Gateway, the up-and-coming Franklin Gateway.
Yes, up and coming, right outside the soccer area, stadium, or soccer fields and stuff.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things going on over here. Municipal soccer fields, the Atlanta United. Can't wait till IKEA comes out here. I mean,
are they coming?
Yes, they are. I know they are. I have complete faith. Our city is doing amazing things. We've got great leadership with Mayor Tumlin. We've got amazing leadership with our council, and they're killing it right now.
I heard you had some challenges in terms of schedule and stuff, and the city worked with you and made it okay for you.
Oh, completely. They are so small business friendly. They definitely want us to succeed. And we are so happy and so proud to be part of Marietta. That's why we stayed here.
Absolutely. And I talked to your co-owner. You're a middle school teacher.
Yeah.
But now you're full-time this.
Yeah, I was a teacher for 15 years, taught high school at one point, middle school for about 15 to 16 years, taught at Kennesaw State University.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, as an adjunct professor. And now I am a head brewer and co-owner of Schoolhouse Brewing.
Well, how did the entrepreneurial bug bite you?
I've always had it. It's always part of me.
Like when you were a kid, with lemonade stand or something?
A little bit different when I was a kid, a little bit darker, but
oh, really?
Yeah. We did crazy stuff back in the day, but the whole thing was I always wanted to. I never could take somebody else's direction. Never was happy having somebody go, hey, you go do this, you go do that. And now I kind of do what I want to do every single day, plus or minus.
Do you pinch yourself sometimes?
Oh, my gosh. It's amazing. I am blessed beyond measure. Been really, really looked out from above. This morning when I woke up and saw this, after, 6 years of really planning and 3 years of looking, it just came to fruition. And to see, 300 people out here just celebrating, it's amazing.
Yeah, it must be. How about your support system and your family? Do you have a family?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, yes. My wife, Catherine.
So give her a plug.
Yes.
Yeah, she put up with a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, she does. She does. I've got 4 children. We've got Hunter, Katie, Sophia, and Veronica. They're amazing. Catherine makes sure everything goes on. Right now, we're at the point of I'm never at home. As an entrepreneur,
How long do you work typically, especially what was like the worst? How many hours a day?
It's not the worst. There's never a worst day. That's the great part.
You're working 16-hour days, maybe?
Oh, easy. Easy, yeah, no. I mean, I can pull 16 with a smile on my face all day. It's a lot of fun. That whole story, if you find something you want to do and you love it, you'll never work a day in your life. Now, that's a lie, but you'll work every single hour with a smile on your face and be happy.
Well, it is pretty amazing to see. I mean, every detail about this place is amazing. You have the school bus seats, the school bus back, the famous emergency exit off the back. You got that hanging up. You have globes up. You have a principal's office, which is you. Is it good to be a principal?
Yeah, well, it's more along the lines of just our office in general. But, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So you have everything set out. Now, who did all that branding stuff? Was that you?
You know what? We've got a team. We say here, there's no you. Before we even started this today, we brought in all of our beer tenders, and we brought in all of the staff, and I told them first, we are here to serve you, and you are here to serve our guests. It's no me. My team has just made this possible. Stacy Harris and John Harris, two partners in this, just did an amazing job with the branding and a lot of the details. Cindy Waller, Justin's mom, just did amazing things around here also. It's just, they call me the monkey in the cage because all I do is make the beer. I've relinquished a lot of the other roles as a small business owner, and it's the first time I've ever been in a situation where I wasn't the only owner. So now I've got partners and everybody's got a role, and it's kind of fun to come to work and not have to have 1,000 balls in the air and only have 100. It's amazing. 100 balls is so much easier than 1,000.
So what do you think is going to be the near-term future for you guys? Are you going to start experimenting with beer, different flavors? What are you going to do in the next 6 months?
Well, there's a lot of things. First, we are what's called a open source brewery. So if you like one of the beers, we'll give you the recipe.
Yeah, I heard that from your partner.
Yeah, so everything that you see here will help you brew. Second, we're completely transparent. We like to say we always wear the emperor's new clothes. We're always walking around just letting everybody see us. So in the next 6 months, you're going to see some of our classic crazy ideas. You're going to see our PB&J, which is a peanut butter and jelly kvass, which is a Russian-style beer that is brewed with usually with rye bread, but we use Wonder Bread because we're American.
What?
Yes.
I haven't had Wonder Bread since 8th grade.
I know. That's the beauty of it. We also we've got our Oreo Stout coming up in the next couple weeks, and we're calling that Oreo Speedwagon. So we got a lot of crazy things going on.
Oh, that is so cool, so cool. Well, best of luck to you guys. I got to hand it to you. Every time I talk to an entrepreneur, I get inspired because you're doing what you love, you're serving the community, you're having a good time doing it. And I really appreciate all you do for Marietta.
Thank you. And we want to serve Marietta, and we're Marietta proud, and we want to make Marietta proud. So cheers.
Thanks to Justin Waller and Thomas Monti of Schoolhouse Brewing. They're at 840 Franklin Court, Suite A in Marietta, just about 4 miles east of the square. You'll really enjoy it. It's a great venue, great people. They care about it. And the open source stuff just makes total sense to me. He's trying to help you. And if you want to get a good brew and hang out with friends and play games, that's a great place to do it. Stay tuned for Season 4 of Marietta Stories. I've started my interviews, and I'm getting with the Marietta History Museum, and I want to know what really, really happened here in Marietta from the
the historical standpoint. So this is Bill Nowicki saying thank you for listening to Marietta Stories podcast. Go to the podcast app to give an honest review. And you can go to mariettastories.com if you think you have a great story I need to hear. We have almost 80,000 downloads. Been on CBS 46, the Marietta Daily Journal. It's been a great journey for me, and I hope you enjoy listening.